No big deal. Meanwhile, Wynn comes all the way home from second.
Second, bro.
Oh,
in
that's
scores.
terrible.
Just brutal.
He forgot.
It happens in Little League and it happens in the major leagues. Wonderful. Dodgers.
He's got to run some laps.
6-3 in Colorado for Ohtani. This one's obviously gone. Home run number 27. Dodgers win. The Rockies drop to 30 and a half games out. They're running out of time here. Rockies are running out of time to make a run.
Yeah, they better make their move.
Wonderful. Angels in the 8th. This is rookie Christian Moore. A year to the day, won the College World Series at Tennessee. So he went from the College World Series all the way up to playing the Red Sox. That was in the 8th. He tied it. And then in the 10th, where the Red Sox are up 1, we're about to win, he hits this one out. It ends up looking like a double, but it's actually a home run. Angels win it. We get another shot at them today. Wonderful. Fever in Seattle. Caitlin to Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston finishes with a career-high 31. Caitlin, meanwhile, won for her last 23 from 3. No, I'm starting to get worried. I think we're in worried territory.
Are you serious?
Wilds is flirting with
1 for 23.
Is Caitlin Clark not good anymore?
Right, where is this going? When you say worried, I'm not worried at all.
Okay, 1 for 23.
It's a bad stretch.
How about 1 for 30?
Right? I mean, she's too good.
You guys see, I'm results-driven. Yeah, if you shoot 1 for 23.
So what does this mean?
Pass the ball
She's
to
no
Aaliyah
longer
Boston.
all-star
Pass the
level
ball.
player.
9 assists.
Pass the ball. Yeah, guess what? We need some more of that. Fever is 7-7. Aaliyah Boston. Joining us now, first baseman from the Kansas City Royals, the Pasquatch. Vinny, thanks for joining us. I'm going to dive right into it. You guys were hot for a while. Yankees, a little bit of a slump. A's, a little bit of a rough go. So I was giving Nick a hard time. He's like, no, the Royals are actually good. It's just that the Tigers are really good.
Yeah.
And I looked at all of a sudden the Tigers are the first team to 50 wins, better than the Dodgers, better than the Yankees, better than the Cubs, better than the Phillies. What is the deal with the Tigers? What makes them so tough?
Well, they're a really good team. They do a bunch of pitching chaos, as they call it, and it's led by Tarek Skubal. So they're just a really good team. That's about it.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about Tigers.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Vinny. I didn't want to talk about Tigers either.
Well, I thought it was interesting. The best team in baseball.
Well, yeah, for now. Royals get hot. All right, so coming into the year, I think the feeling was you, Garcia, Bobby, Salvi obviously provide the offense, and probably have good pitching. It ended up being unbelievable pitching and maybe not as much offense early on as you guys had hoped for. So you guys call up Jack. First of all, I'm sure it's nice to have fellow Paisan in the locker room and in the clubhouse. Second of all, how do you think he's been early on and his impact he can have on the team?
I think his impact early on has been awesome. Wilds probably hates him because the numbers aren't great right now. He's a space guy. But I'm a process-based guy, and I think his process has been great. So, and he provides just some size in the lineup, which is weirdly important. So, like, it's just nice having another big guy in the lineup. And he can do that with a pitch like that, which is insane. So having him around has been awesome. Just like you guys were talking about Christian Moore just a second ago, I mean, he was playing college baseball at this time last year too, which is just insane to think about that kind of jump. So to expect anything other than what he's done so far would be a little bit crazy. And he's just getting better every day. So watching him work has been awesome. The power is ridiculous. He's a massive human being, makes me feel small, which isn't awesome, but it's cool on the team.
What makes Bobby special? So, like, for people that, you know, maybe they watched Bobby Witt Jr. when in the playoffs against the Yankees, but they're not watching a ton of Royals. They hear his name as one of the best players in baseball, but he's not hitting 50 bombs like the other guys in that conversation. What makes Bobby Witt special?
What makes him special is being able to take over the game in multiple different ways, which isn't common in baseball. He's able to do it defensively. He's able to do it offensively. He's able to do it base running, and you just really don't see all three phases being used the way he does. He's won games single-handedly for us on defense on days that he didn't have great days at the plate. Similarly, like when he gets rolling at the plate, there's nobody better. So playing with him every day, I mean, it's like, that play, like I didn't even cheer because I just expect him to do stuff like that. It's just what he does. Like, my expectations for him are probably higher than most, and it's just like he's just the best player in the league in my opinion because of the way he can impact the game on every side of it.
Vinny, earlier this month, the Yankees, they had their way with you guys, swept you. Obviously, last year, they beat you guys in the divisional round. Do you consider them your biggest rival at this point?
You got to beat them to consider them a rival, I think. Not to quote Pedro Martinez, I'm not going to finish the quote, but they've done a nice job against us over the past year. So hopefully we see them again in the playoffs and change that narrative a little bit, because it hasn't been our best baseball when we play them. So they're a rival for sure, but we need to do some damage against them before they consider us a rival. I'm sure of that.
All right, I'm going to say this on the front end. Might be a dumb question, but I don't mind it.
Okay.
So Wilds makes fun of the Kauffman Stadium a lot because he doesn't like small market.
Yeah.
He's an East Coast elitist. He says you get tickets for $4.
Good bargain.
He's all that. I like the fact that that Kauffman is not only a gorgeous ballpark, but a big ballpark. I think that's cool. And I give our Yankee fans on the staff here a hard time because they play in a Little League ballpark and everyone's surprised they got 30 home run hits. As a guy who does hit for power, is it at all frustrating that your home games are played in basically a NASCAR stadium, and then you get a few games in Yankee Stadium, you hit a little poke to right field, it's a home run? Like, honestly, is that at all frustrating for guys like you that can hit for power?
Short answer, yes. Athlete answer, it's great. I love it. I never get frustrated with it at all. But I mean, yeah, it gets frustrating sometimes. You hit some balls that it's like, man, if we were playing somewhere else, that'd be a homer. But there's also plenty of hits. In the style of baseball that we play, it works out in our favor most of the time because, you can turn doubles into triples. Not really me, but other guys can turn doubles into triples, some singles into doubles, things like that. So there's some great things about it. It's also just a beautiful ballpark. You can get tickets for like $3. Great. So it's one of my favorite ballparks. It's a great place to see. I mean, it's just a really cool place.
Hitting question for you. Stuff that sort of wows us is just raw velocity. Like when we saw Skeens come out, like Skeens is pumping the ball. Ohtani's first time up, hit over 100. Is velocity kind of the first thing on your mind, or all of a sudden there's a new sweeper? I'm like, oh, I didn't even know a sweeper wasn't. It just got invented. Is velocity still like the main thing that you're worried about, or what are you thinking about pitches? What are you stressed about, or what puts stresses on the hitter?
Yeah, I mean, the velocity is the main thing. I'm going to throw something at you here. Vertical attack angle percentage.
Yes.
Which is all about the perception of the ball. It doesn't even matter how it's actually moving. It's just how your eyes perceive the ball based off of the release height, the extension the pitcher's got. That's probably it's not necessarily new, but that's probably one of my biggest ones now.
So what is it called? Say it's vertical attack angle of where the ball's being.
Vertical attack angle percentage and horizontal attack angle percentage, which is just all it does is it goes 1 to 100 and it's averages on pitches, and it tells you how much a pitch moves more or less than average to that pitch. So 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, sinker, changeup, whatever it may be, it tells you how it perceives the move, and there's a bunch of different ways to determine how that happens because there's so many different arm angles and everything that guys throw. Not to get too in the weeds with it.
No, that's good. Other than that, I'm like, man, Ohtani, he's amazing.
Yeah. The first thing is how hard does the guy throw for sure.
That's great.
Well, since you brought all that stuff up, as a hitter, as you've grown up, and played through the lower levels and all that, how much has your approach, if at all, at the plate changed because of all these new things that, they're telling you analytically and all these everything you just said? Has that changed your and other players' approaches at the plate?
Big time. When I first got into professional baseball, the scouting reports were mostly like, this is how hard he throws, this is what the pitch is, this is how often he throws it. And now it's kind of completely changed to where, if a guy's ball stays up more, you really need to make sure you stay on top of it. If it drops more, and you're basically saying the same things that, they were saying back in the 80s and 90s, but there's just the data to prove why you're doing it now, why you might move up in the box or back in the box, farther away from closer to the plate. There's kind of the science behind it of how you want to attack each pitch.
Wow.
All right, before you go, I have another weird question because you did a weird thing. You broke NFL news this year, and it was major NFL news. It was who was going to be the starting quarterback for, I think, your favorite team, the New York Jets. I'm going to ask you to share your source, but how'd this happen?
Very strangely, I got a bunch of texts that morning of just like, hey, what would your thoughts be on Justin Fields? And you know, I've signed him in Madden a few times. I kind of know where the prices are at. The money was a total guess. The money in the years, total guess. I had a really good source tell me he was coming to the Jets. I just didn't know what the contract looked like, and I nailed it. So, nothing. The dopamine hit of that, so we had a game. We were playing Cleveland that day. It was about an hour before the game. I went and showered. That's when the news broke. So I'm coming back to my locker, and guys are like, dude, he signed with the Jets. Like, and nothing could have mattered that day. I mean, I could have gone 0 for 7 with 7 strikeouts. It didn't matter. I was on top of the world. It was one of the better days that I've had so far this year.
And hold on, one other thing before you go, because I know we're keeping you long, but I know you want to rep for your guy, Miguel Garcia, and chances to be an AL All-Star.
Yeah, so first off, I'm going to run some stats out, but for you guys as fans, this is the best way to say it for you to vote. Miguel Garcia has come into the league this year. He's come into your house. He's put his feet up, and he's told you to bring him a soda pop and make him a sandwich.
I love it. I love it.
You to go vote for Miguel Garcia. I don't know what will. We need more fans to go vote for him. I think he's a 7th place right now, and he should be way higher because I've got a list of stats on my phone.
Okay.
Which he's first among AL third basemen, first in batting average. So old people like it.
Love it.
First in doubles. Second in hits, second in slugging percentage, second in OPS. There you go, new school. Second in OPS, it should be higher. WRC plus, how he's doing against the league average. He's second as the third baseman. He strikes out the third least. He's got the 4th most total bases, and in WAR, he's 4th in both FWAR and BWAR. So go vote for him.
There we go.
That's serious.
That's awesome.
That's a great teammate right there.
That is awesome.
July
Great
15th,
explanation.
All-Star game on Fox. Vinny, thank you very much. We'll see you against the Rays. You're welcome anytime back on First Things
absolutely.
First.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Vinny.
Take care. More
See you.
First Things First after the break. You can break some football news, too. Get them on football season.
What makes a carnival vacation fun? A little bit of everything?